Happy Friday
Yes, happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody, and
and
welcome
welcome
to
Fun Fresh Friday. Yay!
Yay.
Yeah, as everybody knows and probably seen that, yes, I do have RSV, bronchitis, and yeah, the show must go on, right?
That's right. You just sound sexy and with that husky voice in it.
Oh,
I don't hear any bronchitis in you at all, in
look,
fact.
the husky out of breath. Don't make me cough. Don't make me cough.
Alright.
Don't
Easy,
make me
easy.
cough.
Mhm, mhm.
Yes. So, hi, Stefania.
Hi,
Thank God it's
Zanetta.
Friday.
Yes. You've been running yourself down a little too much, have you? You just, like, over.
Um, I always want to be, excellent in everything. I really do. And so I guess I wanted to be excellent in the sickness, in the illness.
You want it to be, like, get top score, right?
On the yes, I'm an overachiever. That's what I am. Yes. You got to make light of it, right? But
Right.
no, it was just I guess the perfect storm for me. That's all I can probably say about it is that it was basically a perfect storm. So yeah, that's what happened.
Maybe you didn't actually heal properly from the first
The
episode, and
first, yeah.
yeah, you probably got back into things a little too quickly or quicker than you should have, possibly, knowing your nature, knowing your perfectionism.
Yes, 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 yeah, to the all of the above, yes.
Mm,
But look, let's segue into this, since we want to have a go.
right. Hey,
a good
topic,
se a good segue um to our topic. But before we go, do you have a shout out?
a shout out.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a shout out. I have a shout out to Damien from Sydney. I wanna say hello to Damien
Oh,
from Sydney,
well,
and, yeah, thank you for watching,
oh.
following, and being interested in our, you know, show shows. Regularly, he watches, and he's one of those, trollers.
We always say we love our trollers. We love
And
our
of course we
trollers.
love our
We
trollers,
love
yeah.
them. We love
So
them.
we
So,
forgot to say, if you're watching live, hashtag live, if you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay,
mhm.
and if you're trolling, hashtag
Troll.
oh, that just
Yes,
we
yes.
have a go at every time, right?
But no, well, thank you, Damien, and welcome to Fun Fresh Friday. Thank you for
Yeah.
watching. Yeah. So let's get
How about
into the
you? Do you have a shout out? You haven't shouted out.
I gave my shout out today on live, to Miss
Oh,
Seisha.
and for those that missed that live, let's do another shout out then too.
Yes. So I would like to do a shout out to Miss Seisha. She is a beautiful soul. She's all the way in Chicago, and we've only met once. you know, and she sent me beautiful bouquet of flowers
Mm,
and um, chicken noodle soup. It was so hearty. It was so delicious, and also a bowl of fruit. I mean, just really, and it had mango. I love mangoes, so
mm.
all the mangoes are gone. Thank you, Seisha. It was beautiful. It was delicious. Thank you so much. Very heartfelt. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Great to have friends, right?
Great friends. Yes. Yes. And I know you're one of them because you surprised me with a bouquet of flowers too.
Oh, a while back.
Yeah. All the way from Australia. I'm
Well,
telling you, just
they
I'm
travel.
blessed. I'm blessed with great, beautiful friends. Yeah.
We're blessed to have you, Zanetta.
Oh, thank you.
That's why we appreciate you for everything that you do and for everything that you are.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
so
you.
know that.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's talk about goals.
Yes.
So the question is, are goals important to set?
Are goals important to set?
Yeah.
Mm.
Is it important to make goals?
Are you asking me? We're asking the audience.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get answers. But in the meantime, I will answer your
Yes.
questions. Absolutely. I feel they are. Yes. And,
Hmm.
I feel that a goal is something we are working towards, something we want to achieve,
Hmm.
an outcome that we'd like to, you know, reach a destination to.
Hmm.
And it's a bit like sailing a boat or a sailboat and not having a destination or a goal to get to a place, whether it be just the distance or whether it be the timing, in a certain time. Goals are, set in different ways, really. There's not a specific way or a specific, you know, category of goals. I don't believe that. I think there's a variety
Hmm.
of what we're looking at goals, whether it be, financial goals, personal goals, relationship goals, uh,
Mm.
you know, goals with colleagues,
Right.
accountability
So so
partners that
let's niche it down a little bit. So let's talk about personal goals.
mm, person, of
Yeah,
course.
let's talk
Uh,
about personal goals. How because we're told, I put on there and the reason why I chose this topic is because, we're taught to set goals, but we're not ever told how
mm,
how to set goals. Or when you do set the goals, because we have so many coaches out there, write down your goals, write down all of this and do this and do that. And you're doing all of that, but you don't achieve it.
and then you
And
give
so
up, and then
what
you
happens when you
yeah,
don't achieve it? So here comes the um, not so good advice. Don't stop, don't give up, or you're not trying hard enough, or
you're
instead
not
of you're not what?
committed, like because
Committed. Oh, that's a good one.
yeah,
How
and
committed are you?
right, and
Yeah.
you can be committed, but what you said earlier was so important because if you don't know how to set goals and you can be committed, you might just be disorientated and not know what's going on and therefore give up. And it's not because you're not committed, it's because you just don't know how, right?
Right, right. So, um, are there goals that you set that you failed in, and how did you feel when you
Well, it
didn't meet
depends.
them?
Well, it depends when you've asked me that
Personal,
question.
personal.
Yeah, it depends. I guess if you would have asked me that, 10 years ago,
Mhm. Well, let's go to 10 years ago.
oh, am I
Yeah.
getting on? Are you putting me on the pink couch? Yeah. Like I'm not feeling comfortable in that pink
well,
couch.
well, because sometimes some of us are, the 10 years ago of us, but they're in there today, so we can help them along the way. We'll talk about the 10 years and then we'll gradually come to today.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the question? Let's look at 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
A
was it
failed it
a
a
fail?
failed personal goal. How did you feel?
Um, well, of course, I didn't feel very good. I felt, you know, like I'd failed. I felt like a failure. I felt like I'm not good enough. I'm never going to make it. It's like spiraling down.
Mm,
This is too hard. why did I ever even think of setting such a goal? What was I thinking when I set such a goal? You know, I've been in those situations, and it's not pleasant. It can
Mm,
get quite dark, and
mm,
we can spiral down into all sorts of things, like depression, mental ill,
mhm,
depending on the goal and depending how much you've invested in that goal.
mhm,
Because a personal goal can also mean investment of time, energy, and monies. There's a lot of investment that goes in.
mhm,
So, yeah, and that's 10 years ago, because I also wasn't able to break down and look at my failed goal and use it as feedback as to how I can now, because I've got feedback, I know that this doesn't work, or what I tried, or I can try something else. There's no failure. That This is what I've learned over the years. There's
mhm,
no failure. There's only feedback. And when you're committed, and I am committed, I know I'm, overly committed sometimes. I mean, the perfectionism gets in the way, and that sort of distorts things at times.
mhm, mhm,
But I kind of, well, I know now how to navigate through that, because I don't look at it as, all negative. It's not negative at all. In fact, it's actually quite positive.
yeah,
And when we can look at that like that, and it's hard when you're in the mix, when you're in it emotionally, you're in it mentally, you're in it physically. It's like what I say to people: you have to step out of the picture. It's like you're looking into you know, a screen, a cinema screen, and you play back, you know, the scenarios of what not went wrong, but what you experienced and how it panned out, and the choices you made to
mhm,
have, this situation come up. So, and then I always say, well, it always happens for a reason too. There's bigger and
mhm,
better things for me.
yeah,
I maybe I just wasn't ready for that
mm,
also. And it's not a
mhm,
cop out. Some people say that's a cop out. No, I personally think that there is a timing for everything.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and you're correct about that. There are certain things that we have a goal that we set that we're not mature enough yet. We
Yeah.
haven't fully grasped a hold of what that goal entails or what it demands from us.
Mm.
So, we have to take that understanding. And so, let's go a little bit, yeah, because that's normal. That's a normal, everyday experience that when a goal is, you didn't reach your goal, those are the feelings that you get. You're not good enough. Why did you waste your time? What did you even think about? What did I got myself into? All of these different feelings are universal, and so let's go to change it a little bit.
Mm.
What
Get
about
get deeper into that pink cloud.
yeah,
Just relax
yeah,
in there.
just relax. What
Yeah.
about a goal that you're so passionate about, but when you start it, it's hard?
Mm.
What do you do?
What do I do? Again, you're asking a very extraordinary person here.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I'm
I'm
not
asking the I'm
blowing
asking
my
the right person here. That's
no,
the
'cause I'm just like, Miss Warrior. Like, I just don't give up. I'm I'm just like, it's gotta happen. I can't give up. And there has been times where I have wanted to give up. I won't lie to you. I'm not like a
Mhm,
a trooper that just keeps going and doesn't stop. I have stopped. I have fallen. I have, you know, had meltdowns. I won't lie. Zanetta, you know,
mhm,
um, but it's now I realize those meltdowns or those um, breakdowns, or whatever you want to call them, have been necessary, because they have been the blocks, they have been the stumbling blocks, they have been the the, the, the trauma that is trapped in our subconscious mind and in our cellular memory. And what I've experienced every time I've released these tantrums, meltdowns,
Uh-huh.
breakdowns,
Yes.
whatever you want to call
Yes.
it,
Yes.
I have felt a hell of a lot better. Like, it's just, I don't know. I've never given birth, right? But it's they say it's like, just before you give birth, it's just like the most excruciating pain that you
Pain.
can have, right? Until you just, let go and the baby comes through, right? And then it's like, "Whew, it's all over." Well, that's exactly when you are resisting, you see, that's the pain, I guess I feel on an emotional, spiritual, physical level, that you think it's the end of the world. I'm going to die.
Mm. Mhm.
But only when we let go, um, there's this release, and when you release it, it's like a new start. It's like a recharge, and get back on your feet, and you just like,
Yeah.
what's that? There's a I can't remember what it is here in Australia. We have like this choo choo train, that there's this song about, keep going, keep going. I don't know. It's a kid's, I'm not sure. It's a
Oh, gosh,
Thomas
what
the
is
Train, Thomas the Choo Choo Train. I don't know. Where you just he
yes, yes,
going, going, and keeps chooching away.
yes, yes.
So yeah, that's the feeling I've had. And yes,
Mhm.
you know, I feel now, as painful as they have been, I feel now and know now that they have been important, because I wasn't ready back then for
Yeah.
those goals. And I've needed that time to, evolve, grow,
Mhm.
mature, and be the person I am now, that I can handle what's coming up for those
Yeah.
goals that I set, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so key. So key. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put pause on my next comment and commentary and feedback on what you just said. But we're going to acknowledge our viewers and our commenters here. Sanaya Reed, happy Fun Fresh Friday. Thank you for joining us. And Natasha, you give yourself credit for starting. You do. You
Mhm.
do give yourself credit. As scary as it may be, give yourself some credit. And even if you did not attain that goal, give yourself some credit. The tantrums are proof that you stepped out of your comfort zone.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. So, what you were talking about, Stefania, is the thing that scares you the most because you want this goal. I've experienced that, and everyone can probably attest to this that have a business or an entrepreneur or anything that is with the social media.
Mhm.
You had this fear of going live for the first time, and you've already set this goal that you're going to do it, and you've already put it out there that you're going to go live at this time, but you're trying so much to think of ways not to go live.
Mm.
You that talk, that narrative, those voices that come to you, and you're in this fear mode, and this all of these emotions come crashing in. Then the voice, nobody's going to listen to you, nobody wants to watch you, nobody wants to hear what you say, nobody's going to do this and nobody's going to do that, and all of the negative talk is coming. But then you said, no, I'm going to do it anyway.
Mhm.
That's when you go in and you just go live messy.
That's right.
right? You go
Messy.
live messy. And let me just paint a picture as to what you just did, what you just accomplished. Anything that you'd make a change, any change, the beginning is hard, the middle is messy, but the result is beautiful.
Mm.
Let me give you a real visual. When you're having a renovation in the home, you have to break, and it's hard to break through whatever you're remodeling. And then
Mm.
in the middle, it's all messy. You can't take a shower if you're remodeling your bathroom. You can't take a shower. You can't use a commode because everything is just in disarray. So in the midst of the mess, there is still a dance that's going on. Even though it looks messy, it feels messy, it feels exhausting, it's just tiring. But the more you do it, the more you see it's coming together. And the more you see it coming together, by the end of that messiness, you gain this confidence and you gain this, oh my God, I'm seeing results. I'm, oh, the tile is up. Oh, the shower is now up. Oh, and this is up. So by the time you finish and you look at it, oh, this is beautiful. Now you're into the results. That feeling of, I did it.
Mm.
I've,
Accomplishment.
but that's the intention. So if you don't put intention in your goals, then you're going to have a hard time. So, your intention, when you set a goal, what is your intended result?
Mm.
That's the how. People tell you to write or, to set up goals. How do you set up a goal? Write it with the intention of the result.
Mm.
What results do you want?
Mm.
So, now, now that I've said that, what view or perspective do you now see in setting your goals?
That you have to set the intention.
Yeah. So,
Right? And
yeah,
you have it's important to, break that down a little bit more. What is the intention? How do you want to feel at
how
the
do you
end?
want to feel?
How do you want to
Yeah.
feel at the end of that, reaching that goal? How do you see yourself? So if you're visual,
Yeah.
how do you see yourself? And
Yes.
if you're auditory, what do you want to hear? What do you want to hear from, you know, your colleagues or your boss or whatever it is, or your wife or your husband, or, so it's all using all the senses, which
All of
makes it
it.
even stronger, even stronger.
Yes. So then you're grasping more towards the intention rather than the goal.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have an intention, so when we couple those two together without the intention, the goal can be met, but okay, I went live, then what?
Mm.
But if your intent is to have the audience feel empowered, then you will have accomplished one, going live, because that's just doing, that's accomplishing. But the intention, what is your intention? Your intention is to touch clients, is to empower people, is to make a relationship better, stronger. So those are your intentions. So the results of what your intentions are really what you're grasping, and that is the how. to attain the goal that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
to be a coach, oh, go ahead. You had
No,
a
no,
you had a
no.
thought.
I was just going to piggyback on that
Hmm.
because the how is so, so important. That's the secret sauce. That's the secret sauce because everyone will tell you the what and the why,
Yeah.
but not really go deep with the how.
How?
And how is what's going to get you the results.
Yes. How do you make people feel? That
Yeah.
is key.
Mm.
I'm going to quote, Maya Angelou. People don't remember you by what you say, but how you made them feel.
Mhm.
So it's all about the emotion, the intent. So, what
Mm.
is your intent? If your intentions are to empower, then that should be your first go to. How do I get to empower people? I'm going to you know, um, give them the the dance. The dance is, and this is for entrepreneurs, for coaches. The dance is, okay, well, I'm gonna listen to you and see where you're coming from.
Mhm.
And then after that, then I will talk and then give you. And then it's a dance, it's a back and forth. So like what
Mm.
we're doing now, we're actually doing this dance, or the throwing of the baton. I will say what I think, my perspective, and then you come around and couple it with your perspective, and together that becomes power because we're
Correct.
connected. We have been
Mm.
connected emotionally, we have been connected mentally, or our thoughts are congruent, our emotions are congruent, our speech has now become succinct.
Mhm.
And when those all of those three come together, then it becomes beautiful.
Magic. And that,
Magic.
yes, and that, my dear friends, I say out there to the audience, because you already know this, Zinetta, is the same thing applies to a romantic relationship,
Relationship.
an intimate relationship with, you know, your special somebody. You need those three things.
Hmm.
And it's being in sync. And like you said earlier, it's about listening and say, okay, how can I help? How can I ask questions? Is there something else that, you'd like me to do? Or is there something that I'm not doing,
Hmm.
I'm not aware of? You have this delicate dance of conversation and energy, because obviously it's the way you say it, the body
Hmm.
language that all falls into, sync, that you have that feeling of how you're making that person feel. And that's what they're going to remember.
Yes.
That's what they're going to remember. You could be, for example, we're talking to the men here, you could be buying, your lady a lovely bouquet of flowers and just give them to her. Or you are still buying her a bouquet of flowers, but how are you giving them to her?
Or the timing
The timing,
of
the
when
word
you're giving it to her.
exactly. And
Yeah.
and you know, it could be playful. It could be like leaving notes and she has to go on this, hunt for them. I don't
Hmm.
know, there's
Hmm.
fun things you can do. There's lots of things. I won't go into that, but it's how she felt in the process
Right.
of receiving those flowers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the most important thing about the intention and the goals, because I see a lot on social media. They'll have relationship goals, and they'll have a picture of two people that looks like that they're having a great relationship, or they have a relationship goals, or um, uh, And but what they don't understand is how the couple got there. With Jeff and I, with me having such a trauma of past relationship, and same thing with Jeff, we're both coming together with past traumas of relationships, and here we are, we're trying to have a relationship, we're trying to build something that we had a trauma in. Let that sink in.
Oh, that's a big
we're
one.
yeah, we're trying to you know get into a relationship that caused us trauma. So we're
Mhm,
trying to
mhm,
do this. Um, so, but our intention was, this is it. You're it. No more. So, so with those intentions, we said, okay, what do we need to do? And so the first thing was we need to be honest with each other, honest with our feelings, honest with, if he said something that hurt me, I need to say it, and not say, oh, I'm fine. Us women, we're very,
Don't worry about it.
I'm fine. I'm okay. Oh, no, I'm okay. No, we're not. No. There are some that say, oh, give me time, give me space, but don't let that moment become, a day, a week, a month, a year, and then here comes another situation, and that day comes back, and then it just blows up like a volcano. You just erupt. So yes, we've had hard conversations. So I like what you were talking about, the trauma. You felt it, you went in it, and you just let it go. You leaned in to the trauma, you embraced it, and then let the pain go. You
Mm,
embrace all the pain and just let it go. Natasha said traumas are proof that you step out of your comfort zone.
mm, mm,
So anything that changes, anything that grows,
mm,
always demands stretching.
mm,
It demands it. It
mhm.
demands some things to be changed. So when you change something, it's not going to look like what it looked like before. That's the definition of change.
Mm, mm.
It does not look like what it looked like before.
Right.
So talking to the 10-year ago Stefania is not the same right now, Stefania. There's a change. You don't look like, you don't act like, you don't think like the 10-year ago Stefania, or even yesterday Stefania,
Yes.
because you've changed from yesterday because you have gained so much from an experience you had, so now you have that newness of you today, and you're
Mm,
no longer there. So
mm,
change does demand stretching. So
mm,
if you want goals to be reached
mm.
with intentions, know that you're going to be stretched outside of what you're used to, but know it is growth.
Right. And also what I want to add to that is, you know, we talk about comfort zone, being out of your comfort zone. Now
Hmm.
also realize your goal is obviously new. It's a new
Right.
goal. You haven't had this goal before. It's something new. You're walking on, unknown grounds. It's all foreign, it's all new. So we can either be afraid of that newness and
Hmm.
see fear, or we can choose to get excited about it. So that in itself is another intention, is being excited about the newness. And it is new, And it's okay. It is
Hmm.
okay. If we don't experience new, we're not going to experience our goal either.
Right.
So just gently remind yourself about the newness, about, new is fun. It's like getting on a roller
Yes.
coaster. Do you remember ever going on your first roller coaster ride?
Oh my God, yes.
Were you excited or were you frightened?
I was so scared.
Were you?
I
Yeah,
was.
I was so excited. I got scared once I got up there.
I
You
was
know what
so
I
scared.
mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, so when we all experience it differently, but we can get excited about it, get really,
You know,
experience.
the amazing thing I found out about fear and excitement is that they're both the same emotion with a different impact.
Right.
So, fear, your heart is pounding, your hands are sweating, you're like,
Adrenals.
yes, but in a negative impact.
Mm,
Excitement, your heart is pumping,
yeah.
your hands are sweating, and you're just,
Adrenals
it's
too.
the same, but it's on the positive side.
Right.
So that was mind-boggling to me, and I never understood the quote of Theodore Roosevelt when he said, um, "The only fear that you should fear is fear itself." I'm like, what? What does that mean? So when you look at fear and you see it, oh, I should fear fear and not be fearful, but be excited. So you change that same feeling because it's just a matter of changing the impact of what the feeling or the emotion is. Fear and excitement is the same emotion, it's just a different impact as to how our brain goes.
Right.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. And it's
So
really quite
so I took
simple.
it as a negative, but you
Mhm.
took it as a positive.
Yeah.
But once you got up there, you became fearful.
Right.
Once I got up there, I got excited.
Right. See? The
Yeah.
opposite.
So, yeah,
But we both did it. So that's quite interesting. You've
you
got to
did
look at,
it.
and celebrating the start, like Natasha said, it's just even the start can be overwhelming, but celebrating those little wins of just
Yes.
starting will keep the momentum going, will keep you in the, flow state of, you know, positivity,
Hmm.
momentum going.
Yeah.
And I think too also breaking our goals down, like, they say break your goals down, which I think is so important. But in breaking those goals down, it's also to break down those intentions. So
Yes. Yeah.
follow that, breaking, don't only look at the final result, but when you're breaking those little goals down, still set those intentions with those breakdown of goals. I think that's
Yeah.
so.
There's always a result in in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, along the way. It's breadcrumbs. You'll see the results. There's breadcrumbs that you need to follow, and then the ultimate result is going to be there once you accomplish it. But you have to intently look at those. You have to intently, you know, um, recognize those, like giving yourself credit for starting. That's a result. That's an intent that you see, micro results. Those micro results you need to look at. I remember when you said, Sonetta, I got so many views and so many likes. That's a micro result. That's a micro, um, leaning towards or heading towards your ultimate goal and result. So when we take a look at those increments or those I call breadcrumbs, follow them. Don't
Right.
stop. You just see those. And when you intently see those, then you'll overcome some of the still negative, you know, narratives that come into your brain, um, that those talks, those self sabotaging uh, dialogues that we have are within ourselves. I have it, so even when I'm just talking about this, I'm getting ready to, I'm preparing myself for a TEDx stage. I'm thinking nobody, they're not gonna, but I'm looking at it, now I'm doing the micro. Okay, let me do the micro before I start going there, because it's fearful there.
Right.
It's kind of scary because I have not been on that, path yet. But I'm seeing the increments. I'm like, oh, yes, yay, yay, yay. And that's what we need to celebrate, is those micro intentions, micro results, micro goals that leads towards the bigger picture, the
Correct.
bigger goals. Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you, Zanetta.
sure.
Get on the pink couch. Um, what have you ever experienced, failed goals, and how did you feel?
Oh
So
yeah.
obviously, your failed goals today are different to what you experienced years ago, right?
Oh
Can you
yeah.
really see the big difference? And how did you react back then when you had failed at certain goals,
Um,
personal?
so so back then, I had this mindset of, who cares? Oh well. Here comes another failed one. Oh well, that's another one on my bag. I guess the next one I'm gonna fail too. So
Right.
that was the mindset that I had. So instead of trying to achieve goals, I just didn't make one, so I wouldn't disappoint myself.
Mm. And
I
a lot of
was
people
that
do.
type of person.
Right. Yeah. And that, not to cut you off there, but some people do the same thing in relationships. They feel like they're failing at relationships constantly, or
Yeah,
they're attracting the wrong person, that they just, you know, say, well, that's it. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to
I
allow
did.
open
I
my heart anymore.
I did the same thing. I did the
Right.
same thing with relationship. I had no intention in getting. I told Jeff I'm not getting married. He could tell you the story. Yeah.
Mm.
And he said, and then one day he was shocked that I was starting to talk about, well, marriage. Yeah, I can see it now, because he was like, oh, yeah, because that's where I went, because that's all these goals, all these different things that I failed at. I was like, I might as well no. Mm-mm. Oh, what do you have? What do you want to do, Zanetta? Nothing. I just want to live, breathe, make money, come home. That's it. Just exist, not live. Just exist. All I want to do is just exist. Yeah, I was one of those people. Even it trickled into the relationship as well. But
Right.
look at what happened.
Yeah. Well, with Jeff sprinkling his sparkle dust on you.
Yes.
And, allowing you to, obviously feeling the trust, feeling, security, safe. It happened slowly.
Hmm.
And I'm sure he was setting goals as to how to, you know, get to his goal with intention, obviously,
Yes. Yeah.
to because he had the right intention with you. He had, the right intention for both of you. It wasn't just
Hmm.
obviously a motive, or what he could get out of you, because of course that comes into play too. When you are sincere and authentic about your intention,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to blossom, it's going to happen. Whereas if you're got motives, and you're not really being authentic, and
It's
maybe a little
going to come
both,
out.
it's going to come out, and you won't achieve your goal because it's not done with the right intent, because the soul knows.
Yes.
it's,
Yeah.
it's with the ego, you see, and the
Yeah.
soul will always win, in the sense that the truth will always come forth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so okay, so what emotions did you experience, back then?
Um, Back then it was more like numbness.
Mm,
Um, like
you didn't
I
want
don't,
to feel, right? You
yeah, I
didn't want.
don't, yeah, yeah, I'm one of those. I mean, even until now, that's why I'm still going through therapy so that I can get into the emotion of things. And because, numbness comes first.
Mm,
I don't want to feel it because, I've been, exposed to so much trauma, heavy trauma as a child and teen, and a young adult, um, and then brought back into trauma that kind of broke everything back open in my 40s. So numbness took over. Yeah, we're not gonna. Mm-mm. we are. My brain said, nope. We're gonna close this out. So
mm,
that's my number one go-to is numbness or
mm,
avoidance. So I
mhm,
avoid
mm,
anything. Yeah.
mhm. And so now,
Hmm.
in the today's Anetta,
Yeah.
how do you deal with it?
Um, I deal with it when I start to feel the numbness, 'cause it still comes. When I
Right.
start to feel the numbness, then I'll start asking myself, is this what you really want to do? Do you want to get over this? Do you want to accomplish this goal that you're setting? That you want to be able to get the results that you want?
Mm,
So I'll have a self talk, and then I'll go into it, afraid, even though I know some emotions might pop up that I would have to face, and I will embrace them, fully. And when I do, afterwards, I feel so relieved. There's such a freedom that I feel. Like what you said earlier, you just, throw a tantrum. Same thing. I'm going through the same thing, but it's just a different, the impact is different for me.
right.
And it's not me throwing a tantrum, it's more of a quiet, steady storm kind of thing.
Mm,
Um, but then afterwards, it's a relief that I see the clouds going away. I see the rain stopping, and here comes the sun coming up.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely, lovely. And I love the way you say that you question yourself. So this
Hmm.
is so important. I think our audience really, this is a real nugget here that we're sharing, because the answers lie within us. Everything we need to know is stored inside us. It's stored in
Yes.
our subconscious. It's stored in our cellular memory. We will get the answers through bodily sensations,
Hmm.
through some people intuitively, words, images come about. But the secret is you got to ask. You got to ask the right questions, and you got to ask. You got to have this conversation with yourself. And
And
I
you
know.
need to answer.
And you need to answer, yes.
Yeah.
And a great way to do it, I know I've experienced that, is writing it, really writing
Hmm.
that question. and then answering that question you've just popped down. And it doesn't have to be right or wrong. It's a matter of just getting it all out on paper.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't have that, time, or I'm not in the right place to be writing.
Hmm.
So I will personally have a vocal conversation. Before I used to have it in my head, but I realized that the voice can cut in and sabotage that conversation you're having, because
Hmm.
it's sabotaging, thoughts and voices that are coming through, which is, your ego.
Hmm. Hmm.
Call it that. um, it will cut you. It will it will find its way and penetrate to stop you from having that conversation. So I've actually had conversations, like literally
Verbal. Yeah.
verbal,
Yeah. Audible conversation. Yeah.
with myself. And I know, over the years, people say, "Oh, if you're talking to yourself, you're mad." We've been trained to think that you're crazy if you
Right.
talk to
You're crazy. Yeah.
right. But no, if you are having a good, constructive conversation and asking questions, and particularly for coaches too, I think, because we're asking the right questions when we're dealing with clients, that there's nothing wrong with doing it with yourself. And that is also
Right.
what we call a form of self-hypnosis, because that's what
Mm.
self-hypnosis is, self-inquiry, going in and asking those questions, because the answers lie within us.
Yeah.
And if you're
Here's what
not
I've Yeah, here's what I've learned. I've learned that because when I was going, when we have our sessions in therapy, um, the questions that the therapist asks kind of forces me to say certain things, and then when I
mm,
say it, and then she said, "Well, how do you feel hearing that?" I said, "When I hear it, it's like, wow, I said it and I heard myself say it. There's such a relief, you
mm,
know." It's a relief that I can actually verbally or audibly say it.
mm,
And because when you audibly hear something, even when you're talking to yourself,
mm,
then it becomes double. So you're hearing it audibly and you're receiving it through, your ear. So you're getting this conversation of truth, and you're going to answer with truth
truth,
within
exactly.
with yourself. Yeah.
Right. And, remind yourself that this conversation is within you. Nobody needs to know. No one
Right.
needs to hear it. No one needs to read it. And if you
Just
if you need to write it out, I always say write it out and then throw it away, rip it into pieces, burn it. So, it's sacred and no one gets to see what you've written.
Yeah, if
Um,
you're just having a conversation with yourself audibly and somebody says, "Are you talking to yourself?" No, we're having a meeting.
yeah.
M-
That's
Me, my,
right.
me, myself, and I are having a meeting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. We're having a
Just
meeting.
me.
Um, and there's no right or wrong. You're not harming anyone. In
No,
you're
no.
not anything that's, and remind yourself this there's a it's a positive conversation, right? And
Yeah.
again, if you fall into a negative emotion and negative feeling, question it. Is that my
Right.
truth? Where's this coming from?
Yeah.
Um, and have those dialogue conversations.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
be afraid. And they don't have to be lengthy. You can start off with short little ones, I
Yeah.
always say.
Yeah. How do you feel about this? How do you really feel about this? Hmm. Let me see. Kind of leery. So lean into that. Why are you leery? I don't know. There's just something about it. Maybe it's because. Here's a technique that the therapist had taught us when we say, you know, oh, that made me angry. Don't say that word. That made me angry. Well, what about that word that made you angry? What was the thought? What was the feeling behind it? What caused you to get angry? What caused that emotion? So then you'll then so I'll say, "Oh, I remember when."
Mm.
So, that was the thought behind the emotion. So when you say I'm mad, okay, what's the thought behind the emotion? Why are you mad? So
Mm.
once you start to get deep into that, so why are you leery? Maybe oh, I know why I'm leery, because I remember when I signed up for this coaching business and all they did was bamboozle me. So I'm kind of leery about all these other things. And okay, I need to get over that because this person is not that person. And maybe, so you
Mm.
start to have that deep conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, that could be a business in itself, couldn't it? Helping
Yes.
coaches that are leery.
Right.
There's a lot of leery coaches out there. They have been burnt. They have been,
They have
you know,
been.
um, spent a lot of money. And, not feeling, and there'll be triggers, these are all triggers that go
Yeah.
off and you just put your guard up. And yeah, it's all very interesting. But this has been great. I think this is
Yeah.
so, this conversation we've had, not because we've had it, but I think it's gold. There's just so many nuggets in this conversation to, you can apply to any goal, whether it's a
Any
personal goal, financial goal,
financial goal.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
relationship goal, family goals, um, any goal
Yeah.
at all.
And
Um,
here's a tip. You know, there's a saying that in order to break a bad habit into a good habit, you have to do something, in order to gain a new habit, should I say, like working out. In order to gain that, you have to do it in 21 days. And
right,
then you'll be able. In actuality, no. You are breaking the habit on
mm,
day 22, but you
mm,
can't stop just because you've broken the habit on day 22.
right,
Now you have to continue,
mm,
because what you've broken your normal thinking, your normal habits. You've broken that. Now you have to build.
right,
Now you have to rewire. And now the body then says, "Oh, okay, so we're continuing this." Okay. So you continue it and continue it and continue it until day 66.
mhm,
Then it becomes natural. The
mhm.
the brain, the neuroplastices now are, "Oh, this is what we're supposed to do. Oh, we're supposed to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and
Mhm,
work out and then do this and then do that." So you have to do it. You have to break it and then build it. You can't just break a habit and not build.
build on it, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's gold. That is really, fundamental, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not this magic 21-day theory and that's it.
No.
Gotta, like you said, go over it and then just keep building. And it's like anything,
Yes.
even dieting, people that wanna lose weight,
Yeah.
it's all changing those neural pathways in our brain, and
Yes.
we'll
Yes.
get results. We will get results. Who do
Yeah.
we have?
This Tanya. Tanya, that's one of my BFFs. She's my little sis. Good
Oh,
point. Yeah. So when you want to break a habit, you want to build. So change your language a little bit. I want to break the habit of being lazy.
hmm,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me stop making myself laugh too, because I'm gonna have a coughing fit. Um, you instead of, you want to break a habit, you want to build a habit. So when you change your language, you change it, you know then it becomes Yes.
It becomes
It becomes, you know, a mind shift. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a mind shift. All
And
right.
permanent. Becomes permanent as well too,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's what we
S-
want, isn't it? We want permanency in our changing our mindset,
Yeah,
achieving our
yeah.
goal. So this has been wonderful. Is this your sister Tanya
No,
in Oh,
no, that's I call her my little sister.
oh,
No,
okay.
yeah.
I know your other sisters. What's her name?
Mialani.
Yolani,
Yeah,
that's right.
Mialani. Yeah, yeah.
Your sister I don't know about.
I have a lot of sisters that you don't know about, but she's my blood sister.
We're all sisters. We're all sisters.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's my sister. I like that tip. Yeah, that's my sister. Yeah,
yes. You've been
Mialani.
watching. Good to see you all.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Yeah, we are at an hour.
yes. Yay!
And my voice and coughing, you know,
You need to rest
yeah,
your voice, Janetta.
yeah,
Get some
I need
honey in
to
there.
get some more oxygen. Yeah.
But this has
Well,
been great. Been a great session.
you love you
Love
too.
you. Love you.
Yes, it has. Yeah, it's really good. We need to empower our audiences more.
Mhm.
That's our intent and our goal from now on is to
Absolutely.
empower. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, Zanetta.
Take away.
Well, we just want to say thank you to everyone who has chimed in and, you know, stayed with us to the end. And if you're watching it on the replay, yes, we love you still. Love you more.
Yes.
And of course, if anyone has any topic that you know, that you would like us to talk about or to bring up in the sessions, please let us know because we're here for you guys. We're here to serve,
Mhm.
inspire, empower, right?
Yes. Yes.
And any feedback is great feedback.
Yes.
And we want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful evening, Friday for you guys. It's already Saturday here. Coming up to the weekend, have a wonderful weekend. And of course, you can catch us at
Next
Redefine
week.
Me. Yes, for Zanetta. Yes. And at the Gentleman's Square with myself. And we are so excited to be back next week. We don't really know yet what we're going to talk about, but of course, it's going to be fun,
Amazing.
amazing.
It's gonna be fabulous. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fabulous.
fun, fresh, and fabulous. How about that
Yes.
on Friday? I like that
Ooh,
wording.
fun, fresh, and fabulous.
So
We
thank you,
might change
Zanetta.
it.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
Did you,
you.
yes, say anything else to our lovely audience at all, or as we sign?
Um, no, just set your goals with intentions and celebrate the um, micro results that lead towards the ultimate goal. And remember, instead of breaking a habit, build a
Yes,
habit.
correct. And also, I would love to know, if anyone is going to apply this during the week or the next few weeks, let us know how you go because we want to
Yes. Yeah,
hear
that would be
as
good.
well. That would be great. So we can talk about that as well. Because I think that's so exciting. Give it a go. Don't um, don't hold back. Get excited.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, Zanetta, you look after yourself. I look forward to
I
seeing you
sure
soon.
will.
And to
Yes.
everyone, we send you lots of
Love and passion.
bye
Until
for
next
now.
time. Bye.
Bye for now.